for fans of yours, Jake. Yeah. And I am one. I am a huge fan of yours, Jake.
I'm the president of the Richard Eisen fan club.
Well, we're back and forth then. I mean, we're simpatico like that. That for fans of yours and fans of your writing, that the fact that you have a new novel coming out right now, The Devil May Dance.
Comes out tomorrow.
Just like Die Hard, it's like Christmas in the summertime. You see what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
You know what I mean? So people want to have their summer vacation and a page-turning book, which is what I did with the Hellfire Club on a beach, and it's perfect material for that. Perfect. So for their summers, it's like Christmas arriving out of season. Jake, that's why I kind of bring that up.
I appreciate it, and I love it, and I love where you're going. You're going to a positive place, and I appreciate that.
Well, because
just so you know, people need to understand that when you karaoke with Rich Eisen, it is basically you sit down and you just listen to Rich Eisen sing Sinatra songs for an hour with a lovely voice. A deep baritone.
Well, but we need to say this, Jake. It's not because I hog the mic. I'm just giving the people what they want.
Yes,
it's I take by request in the room.
Yes. No.
Okay.
You need to put asses in the seats. 100%. That's what that's about. It's not hogging the mic by any stretch. But my only point is, I think you will really enjoy this book because it presents Sinatra as a person, as a character. Warts and all, good things and bad things, and the premise of the book is based on a real story, a real thing that happened, which is, as you know, Sinatra and the Rat Pack worked their heart out to elect JFK in 1960, and then Sinatra felt that when President Kennedy came to California at some point, he would, of course, President Kennedy would stay with him at his Rancho Mirage compound. And he had all sorts of construction done to it. He had rooms built. He had telephone lines put in. He had a helipad built. And then Attorney General Robert Kennedy was starting to get hinky about this because he thought, I am fighting organized crime here, and Sinatra literally is friends with mobsters. Sam Giancana has stayed at this compound. I don't know if I can let my brother stay there. That's the true story, and that was the premise for The Devil May Dance, which is Charlie and Margaret, my main characters from the Hellfire Club. He's a congressman, she's a zoologist, go out to investigate to find out if Sinatra is actually mobbed up, and he's in the middle of filming The Manchurian Candidate.
I love that.
And he meets all these folks. So I really, even if none of your listeners buy this book, you really will like this book. And I mailed you one, so you should have it arriving anytime soon, sometime soon. You will really like it. I guarantee it.
I have the book, Jake, and I may or may not already have a photograph of me reading it, not staged at all. When I post it on Instagram, it's not staged at all. Being totally engrossed by the material, Jake.
You will.
I can't wait.
And something else, there is a song in the book called "The Devil May Dance" that I wrote. I did not write the melody, because I, as you know, do not have a good pitch.
Well, the great Sammy Cahn must have written it, right, Jake? I mean, if you're going to go real here, I mean,
Van Heusen, I think, was the. But this is, you'll enjoy this. So when the lawyers are going over the book to make sure that nobody can sue me or them, because there are all sorts of people, real people. Most of them are dead, but real people in the book, and the Church of Scientology makes an appearance, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, and the thing that's amazing, Jake Tapper here on the Rich Eisen Show, and I will gladly toot your horn, sir, is, again, in the Hellfire Club, you mentioned... No, seriously. What you just mentioned, one of the characters, Margaret Martyr, is a zoologist. I mean, Brockman, you read the Hellfire Club, I'm learning about animals. I'm learning about everything about zoology. I'm learning about that stuff. Your research
in a fun way. It
is. No. It's great. Okay. I'm not boring anybody. This is my way to point out that the research you do is intense. It's clear that you have researched everything, every last detail. And I'm sure you may have a person or people help you with that. But
nope.
There you go. So when the hell do you have time to do all this? Did you write this book while you're covering the 2020 election?
I wrote this book. Let's see. The first one came out in 2018. So I wrote it in 2018, 2019, and 2020. So I wrote it during those periods.
When? When the hell do you have time to do all this?
If you're in a writing project, and I assigned you a writing project, you might remember a couple years ago I assigned you a book. And
I did nothing with it, Jake, because I'm a slacker compared to you.
That is a bestseller. You just have to sit there. But here's the deal.
Okay.
You already know all this stuff in your book, though. I'm not going to spoil it because that's your project.
Okay.
But if you are in the middle of a writing project, and if you promise to yourself and you pledge to write 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes. You can find 15 minutes in your day. Lunch, breakfast, right before you go to bed. 15 minutes is not that hard. Even if that's all you do, at the end of the week, that's an hour, 45 minutes of writing. That's 4 pages, 3 pages. I mean, that's not nothing. So it adds up. But let me tell. So anyway, I was able to do that. Plus, in 2020, I was at home broadcasting from April through August. Right. So there's an hour and a half commute I don't have anymore. Plus, normally I would be traveling all over the country covering the presidential race. Not so much in 2020. I did 2 trips, once to Michigan to interview Biden, and then in December I drove to Delaware to interview him and the vice president. That was it. Those are my 2 trips. In no election year have I ever had so little travel. So I had more time on my hands than normal. But the thing I wanted to tell you about the fake Sinatra song that I wrote is, so the lawyers are going through it, the book, to make sure that nobody can sue.
Yes.
And they say, you can only put one line of a song in a book because otherwise people will sue you. The whoever owns the rights to the song will say that's our property. You can't do more than fair use is one line, period.
Right.
So they're like, Tapper, you're crazy. You know that you can only do one line. We've been through this before, and you have an entire Sinatra song in here. Every lyric, and it's like wound through the climax of the book, which takes place at the 1962 Oscars. Like, what are you doing? And I said, it's not real. I made it up. It's not a real song. And that was and they said, well, you need to put that in there because people are going to go crazy trying to Google it, trying to find it. But that's like the greatest compliment that you can give somebody.
Of course it is.
I thought it was real. They thought it was real.
Well, it's also the fact of the New York Times in reviewing it said that what Janet Maslin said, she missed the book when she was done with it. So congrats on that, man.
She's tough. She gave a middling review of my first book. So for her to give such a nice review of this one meant a tremendous amount to me.
Well, I mean, I couldn't be more happy for you. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.